下午好，9月27号下午的5点21分，欢迎您准时回到我们正在直播的 WOWtv 活在5点。到了今天的嘉宾访问环节，那么昨天给大家介绍说，接下来这几天的嘉宾访问环节都会给大家请到这个省选的几位候选人，今天也不例外。今天为大家请到的候选人呢是康山选区的这个自由党候选人 Bernie Farber。Welcome to the show, Bernie.
Thank you. 谢谢。
Bernie 他今天来呢，也是想跟我们大家介绍一下这个有关他今天这次省选是他第一次参选，他可能先要跟我们做一个自我介绍。So first of all, tell us more about yourself.
Well, I'm originally from Ottawa, but I've been living here in Toronto for about 27, 28 years. I come from a social work background, so I worked in the field of child welfare. So I worked with children who were abused. I worked with women who had suffered violence against them. I worked in family counseling. So I've done a lot of work in terms of understanding poverty issues and understanding family issues. And from there, I came to Toronto and worked with an organization called the Canadian Jewish Congress. And this was an organization that represented the Jewish community, but really we did a lot of work in the human rights arena and civil rights. And we did a lot of work around anti-discrimination and anti-racist issues. And in that capacity, actually, I worked very closely with a number of different ethnic communities, including the Chinese Canadian community, of which I have had a very close relationship with for many, many years, and actually traveled to China not all that long ago with my wife and my daughter, who's teaching in East Asia, in Korea right now. And we spent a month in China and got to learn a lot about the culture and the people there, and it was fabulous. So I have quite a well-rounded history. Right now I'm a member of the Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police, and I serve here in York Region with the York Regional Police on the Community Security Committee. So I've done a lot of work on community security and crime and those types of things. And I decided about a year ago that it was time to take my advocacy skills and move them out of one community and try to benefit the entirety of Thornhill. And I live in Thornhill. I've lived there for 27 years. My opponent does not live in Thornhill. He lives in downtown Toronto, which is minutes away from the legislature, but miles away from Thornhill. So I know this community well. My children went to school here. I've advocated here. And now I want to be able to serve the people of Thornhill, my friends and my neighbors.
So that's why you want to run into politics.
Absolutely. I should tell you, I've really wanted to be in politics for a very, very long time. But, I had to have...
Why is that?
Well, I come from a very political family. My father, who was from Europe originally, came to Canada in the late 1940s and came in when Louis Saint Laurent was a prime minister. And he became a lifelong liberal because Louis Saint Laurent was a liberal. And so I come from that kind of a background, of a liberal background. And politics was always in my blood. But the time was never right. The time is now right. My children are in university. My wife is very supportive. Thank goodness. Without her, this could not happen, trust me. And the road was ahead of me, and I took it. I'm really looking forward to October 6th, where I hope to be Thornhill's MPP.
So you're running Liberals as a real Liberal candidate because of your family background?
Well, the family background is one, but liberal values are my values. Liberals welcome people. They welcome diverse communities. They have stood arm in arm with all kinds of diverse and different communities. And I'm a first-generation Canadian. My parents were both immigrants. So I understand the immigrant experience, and I also understood that liberals and liberal values embraced us. They welcomed us. And it seemed very natural to me to run for a party that I felt comfortable in, and that's the Liberal Party of Ontario.
And as a first-time runner, how do you really see the Liberals' platform? Do you have your own understanding of it?
Well, the platform is actually a fascinating platform because it really is straightforward. It looks towards the future, which is, for me, really interesting because we need a strong hand at the wheel right now. There is a potential that we're running into another recession right now, for example. And our premier in 2007 understood what was going on in terms of the economy and led us through the recession where Ontarians came out really much better than many other places. And that's because he got it. And with the potential for another recession looming, now is not the time to go someplace else. We want somebody that we can trust, that understands where to go, that knows what the future holds. and that's Dalton McGuinty, the Premier. He is really, I think, one of Canada's most respected and top leaders, and I can't tell you how proud I am to be serving with him.
Okay, and now let's break the platform into several parts. First of all, let's talk about education.
Well, education is one of the key areas I feel so strongly about, and I do so because I've had my own experience. All of my 3 children went through the York Region education system, and my youngest boy, Max, who by the way is debuting tonight at Yuck Yucks. He's now at Humber College taking comedy, writing, and performance. But I have to tell you that when he was in elementary school, this was before the McGuinty government, and in high school, we were told, because he learns a little differently than other people. You know, he had some special issues, but there were no resources at that time, none. By the time the McGuinty government came in, they put resources into the school, and here was a young boy who we were told would never go to university. Not only did he end up going to college, he was accepted at all 5 universities he has applied for. He decided he wants to be in acting, you know, and he wants to be a comedian. So he went into this very special program. But he would not have had that opportunity had it not been for a premier. And he wears this mantle proudly, the education premier. The education premier who's given us the first one in Ontario, the first one in Canada, North America, an all-day 4-year-old kindergarten. This gives young people a real, charge at life. It gives them a head start in life. They start at 4 years of age. It also gives parents a bit of a break. They don't have to look for daycare. They won't have to pay for private daycare. So it gives them an educational lift, and at the same time, helps save money. It's a fantastic experience. So that, coupled with the manner in which we have been able to bring graduation rates up, the manner in which we have been able to ensure that reading and writing skills have increased, it's gone like from 60% to 80%. We've done real well in education. I'm very, very proud of our platform in education.
And you said you've been living in Thornhill for 25 years?
Yes, yes.
The traffic in that area is not very good.
No, it's not. And it's an issue that we have to really fight hard for. And so one of the issues that I'm really keyed in on are the 2 subway systems. So we have the young subway. Right now it stops at Finch. Well, that's simply not good enough for us who live in Thornhill. We need that subway system to come from Finch to Steeles and eventually to Highway 7. And then we'll be connected to downtown Toronto. We've already started the expansion of the Spadina system that's going to go to York University. So both these systems we need to work on. Our opponents in the Conservative Party have no plan for transportation. They voted against both of these transit systems. We have a plan. I want to institute it. I want to fight for it. And that helps get cars off the road. Look, we already started a plan with the Presto Pass, for the GO service. So now you can get one card, you swipe it, and you can take a bus from Thornhill to Mississauga if you want.
Okay.
That's part of, a small part of the plan. Now we have to work on ensuring that we get cars off the road, get people into subways, cut down on the congestion. We've also got the POV lanes, on the 400 series of highways, where if you're traveling with more than 1 or 2 people, you can go into special lanes. This is terrific. We're going to now add those to all the 400 series of highways, not just the DVP. That's something else we want to get going. So we have lots of plans, but we are the only party that have plans. Neither the NDP nor the Conservatives really have a plan. All people have to do is look at our platform, look at our book, and you will see, forward, together, we have the plan.
But it sounds a lot of money spending.
Well, it's always a lot of money spending, and in order to be able to live comfortably, we have to pay taxes and we have to spend that money wisely. And that's what we do here in Ontario. We have spent the money wisely, and I say to people out there, Ontario's been a pretty good home. It's a good home to me. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. Do we have more work to do? Yes, we have more work to do. But only a guy like Premier Dalton McGuinty and the team that he's put together, we're the ones that can do that work. And I look forward to assisting him on that.
Bernie, you mentioned about that you used to be a family consultant.
Yes.
Like you take care of the people, women being abused or suffer the family violence.
Correct.
So how do you see that in Ontario, the crime and security being improved? Well,
we are lucky here in York Region especially. I think we have one of the finest police forces in the country, if not on the continent.
Okay.
And one of the things they've done, for example, in dealing with hate crime, they have been able to take hate crime, and when I first started working here in Toronto in 1984, they had 2 officers assigned to dealing with hate crimes. That's crimes against communities.
Okay.
Now they have 27 officers. So this community gets it, the police get it, and I intend on working very closely with them to protect not only ethnic communities, but to protect us all. We're the ones that hired police officers. The Conservative Party have fired police officers. We understand police. We know that police are our heroes. These people have to be on the streets and they have to be there, and whatever we have to do to ensure their presence, we have to do, and I look forward to continuing that.
And we still have like no more than 2 minutes, probably a minute and a half, and tell us, the audience in Thornhill Riding, what can you bring to them if you're elected?
This is a great question, and I bring me. I am a fresh face. I am an advocate. I am